Welcome back to Inside Charlottesville, your local public affairs TV program. I'm your host, Afton Schneider, Director of Communications and Public Engagement for the city. On this episode, we'll go on the spot with City Manager Sam Sanders and hear more about the budget process that is currently underway. We'll take you to last month's Climate Cafe on all things electric vehicles, presented by the city's Office of Sustainability and the Community Climate Collaborative. Public Safety Information Officer Kyle Irvin shares highlights from the annual CPD Santa Van event and gets fire safety tips from Deputy Fire Chief and City Fire Marshal Joe Phillips. We'll hear from Jill Greiner, the city's Water Efficiency Program Coordinator, about the annual Imagine a Day Without Water Youth Art Contest. And we get to know Philip Spence, Risk Manager for the city. One of the meetings we had in regards to budget was the City Manager Community Budget Forum.
Right.
And we did things a little bit differently this year.
Back in December.
Back in December.
Back last year, yeah.
Back last year. It was a really fun event this year because, as some of you that have been following along know, we gave the attendees of the City Manager Community Budget Forum their own fake money. It was literally like Monopoly money. We had someone at the door passing out the money. Everybody got $10,000, and they were able to spend that money on the priorities of their choosing.
Yes.
And the priorities were all different of our strategic outcome areas.
Right.
As
From
part
council.
of our, from
Yes.
council,
Yes.
the council adopted the strategic plan framework. So I wanted to go over with you the attendee spend results.
Oh, I get to find out what
You
happened.
get to find
All
out
right.
literally on the spot.
Nice.
So the top priority with 30% of the spend was housing.
Surprise. Not really.
So what do you think? What do you think that people are thinking
Sure.
with that as?
Yeah, it's not a surprise. I mean, I think everyone knows that for the city of Charlottesville, that is our number one issue. I think it doesn't matter what income level you are, that you tend to find a reason to say that that is one of the issues. Because whether it's you individually, it's someone in your family, it's someone who works in your office for your company or what have you. So I think it is one of those topics that finds its way into every household and in every situation. So yeah, and we know that it's expensive, and we're doing a number of things in intervening with rent relief and tax relief programs. We're putting millions and millions of dollars into affordable housing directly from the city government's general fund. And we are partnering with different organizations on bringing forward more affordable housing, and the zoning ordinance prioritizes it. So that's good. That shows that there's consistency in what we prioritized, and for me, that's a good thing.
Do you think that this is any reflection of the concern that we hear a lot in the community of homelessness?
I think so. I think because we don't have that singled out as a strategic outcome area specifically, and it's captured within that, I'm sure that probably was top of mind for some folks.
Okay. And then next on the list at 21% was transportation.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot too. And I think that goes with the fact that our transit system has been really, really focused on climate innovation.
Right.
And that is where significant costs will go in order to bring forward all the benefits to a healthier system. But at the same time, we've got to get better at providing that service. So that's the reason why it's going to be very expensive. So it makes sense that we're seeing that we need to spend that kind of money there too.
Do we have any updates on the both electric and hydrogen fueled buses?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, there's a couple of things. So we already applied for a grant to get us 2 electric school buses, and I've authorized going after 2 additional ones. So we could get to 4 in our pilot, which is actually making it a bigger pilot than what we had originally planned. But it's because there's the opportunity to not lose access to federal funds, because there's a concern that there might be fewer funds available on the federal level, at least for the next period of time. So with that, if we get 4 buses, then we'll be able to truly figure out what is the best way to try to deploy as many electric buses in our school fleet as possible while we're working on the public transit side. Hydrogen is a bigger conversation. It's still a part of a pilot. That pilot comes after the battery electric pilot, so we're just going to continue to work in that space.
And this will take more than 1 year to implement, correct?
Absolutely.
Like building the infrastructure and everything around it. Okay.
Well, I mean, we won't see the infrastructure probably until next year, and then we won't have the bus until sometime after that. It takes a while to build a bus. I didn't realize how long it took.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Okay, I want to keep it moving on. So housing was at 30%, transportation was at 21%, and then we take a little bit of a jump down with economic prosperity and education both sharing 13%.
And that's interesting because those two really go together. I mean, we know Education has been said often as it is the solution. If you focus on education, all the other issues go away because people can find better outcomes for themselves. But economic prosperity as an outcome area for council really is meant to focus on the income gap. That's really what that's about. It's about wealth building. It's about being able to achieve a level of self-sufficiency and to be able to sustain that. So I think what this is saying to me is it mirrors part of the conversation that I have with council. There are 9 strategic outcome areas and a commitment to justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. They heard from me that that's 10 things. That's really too many things for anybody to focus on at one time. And I said, are you sure? And they said, yes, we're not taking anything off the list. And I said, okay, that means we have to prioritize the priorities.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what that reflects to me.
Okay. And then we take another little jump down to 6% each for public safety and recreation, arts, and culture.
Yeah, and I would say that could say to some people, wow, they don't want to spend anything on public safety. I don't think that's what it means. I think what they are saying in the spending in that manner is that what we're doing is enough.
Yep.
And that it's probably working. People are feeling good about what they see, but they're still willing to invest because they know that you have to maintain that. And on the park side, without the master plan being out for people to appreciate what that process really unveiled, they don't yet know what they would want to spend that money on. So I would imagine that would jump up if we were to do this again in 3 months.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next one at 5% is climate action.
And I think the appreciation there is that we have made significant investments. And many of those folks might remember that in this current year's budget, I added $1 million a year in the CIP as part of my proposal to council that they accepted. So we were spending money there.
Okay. Then 3% social equity.
And I think that's because people don't necessarily understand it.
And we did receive that feedback actually at the forum. I think it's a term people hear often, and for some people it's even a newer term. Maybe it's just been introduced to them in the last couple of years. And so I think it'd be important for us to really educate people around what that means.
Well, and just yesterday, Deputy City Manager Marshall was here in this room with the other deputies and myself presenting on that subject so that we can begin that conversation about it's time to educate not only ourselves, but we need to begin to share some of that with the public. And I think that would probably translate into how people would consider spending in that category.
Yep. All right, and then we have 2 left, partnerships followed by organizational excellence.
And I think partnerships is that no one really probably felt like I should determine what the partnership money should be. It's understood.
Right.
They know that partnerships are everywhere, and I feel that way too. Organizational excellence, I again think that that's a category that's more internal.
Yep.
So I don't know that people will necessarily relate to how we spend money for the city organization if we don't understand what the city organization needs. That's really my job.
Yeah, agreed.
That makes sense to me. I think that's good. That to me speaks well to those who were there really thought about probably what was really important to them, and that was really the point of the exercise.
Especially in that moment. Think about a month ago, what was really hot topics, housing and transportation.
Yep.
So it makes sense that those, I mean, they still are very hot topics, but it would make sense.
Sure, and I would say that after I make the presentation of the proposed budget, then it'll be obvious that, it matches.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to City Manager Sanders' reflection on that. The cool thing about this is that Sam is going to present this in his city manager's report. Is that correct?
Yes.
At the next city council meeting. And so it's great because city council is going to hear that this is what members of the community, this is what they chose to spend their money on.
Right.
So I think it's a cool way to get your voice heard.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you want to talk about before we end this segment of On the Spot?
I'll just say to that particular moment of that exercise being integrated into the budget forum, I'm going to continue to think about, with you of course, how we do different things to engage our public.
Yes.
I think it's important. I feel like I've heard that loud and clear that people just want to participate. And I think for us, it's incumbent upon us to figure out how to set those moments up.
Agreed. And I think participation as opposed to just presentations.
Yeah, I don't think, I made that statement to you. I don't want everybody to come in the room and they sit down in a chair and listen to me talk.
Right.
I can do that anytime. I don't want to do that, which is why it turned into, okay, let's make it fun.
Yeah.
And that's why it became a Monopoly game.
And it was fun.
Yeah. So we'll look for more ways to do that, I think is what I would like to just say to everyone.
Okay, awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for having us back with you and being
on the spot.
Come on.
No, on the spot.
Thank you.
We're here this morning at our very first Climate Cafe, and we're here to talk about all things EVs. So we partnered with the Community Climate Collaborative, and Generation 180 is our featured partner for today's event. And we have brought the community here to talk about all things EVs. So folks who are EV curious, folks who are EV owners and want to share their experiences, folks who maybe are not sure that EVs are the best transportation solution for us, but this is a yes and event, and we are really excited about how many folks showed up today to talk about EVs. We are trying to raise awareness about our program, about our climate work here in the city, and also to help people feel comfortable making the switch to electric. It is so important to bring people together to talk about sustainability and climate issues. We know that most Americans report feeling really nervous about climate change, but they also report that they never talk about it. So we're trying to bring people together to feel comfortable talking about climate solutions and learning about how they can be part of them. And we also love the opportunity to share the work of the Office of Sustainability and the City of Charlottesville. We have a climate action and sustainability dashboard at climateaction.charlottesville.gov, and we invite you to come check out all of our work and see what we're doing. And we will be doing this event again on a bi-monthly basis, so we will be back here in February talking about invasive plants.
You gotta get me in the neighborhood and do it. I can't.
Oh, you gotta get in the neighborhood?
I can't be in the.
We're planning for a Santa van.
Oh.
This is, Santa van. Every year we get a bunch of toys. We go out to the neighborhoods and give back to our community kids. It's a highlight of our year. So you'll see a long line of cars today, and you can see here Major Meehan all dressed up. But it's a fun event. It's an opportunity to give back at the end of the year and really strengthen our community relationships with those we serve every day.
That's awesome. All right, I'm looking forward to joining this caravan then.
Looking forward to it too.
Hey,
What's
Major,
happening,
how
Kyle?
you doing? How
I'm
you doing?
great.
Are
How
you
about
ready
you?
for the Santa van?
I could not be more ready.
Oh,
I went
man.
to bed last night thinking about the
that's
Santa
awesome.
van. I'm
Hey,
serious.
hey, do you have a message for the people just, starting the new year off fresh, things to look forward to, any safety tips?
Safety
things
tips.
they should prep for?
Charlottesville, how about can we lock our vehicles this year? I would be so happy if as a community we could lock our vehicles. We lost, or we didn't lose, but we had a lot of guns stolen out of cars last year. And unfortunately, those guns sometimes end up being used in crimes here in the city. So it's a safety issue. Belongings, they're expensive, computers, all kinds of things are being stolen out of these cars. Lock your car. Please lock your car and take the keys out of it. That would be fantastic. And let's be positive. Let's make 2025 the most positive year the city of Charlottesville has ever seen. Remember to smile.
Right out there.
My little mermaid?
Yes, right.
You're right.
Merry Christmas. There's more toys.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Be grateful for what you have and love the people that are in your life.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
Hi, great. Thanks for coming. I want to show you a few fire safety tips for the new year.
All right, let's do it.
So everyone at the beginning of the year should make sure that their smoke alarms have good batteries in them and that they're less than 10 years old. So if it has batteries, you're going to want to open the battery port, check the batteries, put new batteries in and close it. You're going to test and make sure that your smoke alarms are working. The other thing you want to make sure is that your smoke alarms are less than 10 years old. Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. So if you have batteries, you still need to replace them every year. If you have a 10-year smoke alarm that has a 10-year battery, just replace it after 10 years. I'd like to show you a fire extinguisher and what to do with the fire extinguisher every year. So come on this way.
All right.
So you should mount your fire extinguisher somewhere where you know where it is every time. Putting it underneath the kitchen sink or in a cabinet, it can slide all the way to the back and it not be accessible when you need it in an emergency. So I recommend they're always mounted on a wall so you know exactly where it is. Every year you should look and make sure that the arrow is in the green, that your fire extinguisher is less than 6 years old. I want to talk a little bit about kitchen safety for the holidays. So when we have people over for gatherings in our home, we want to make sure that we have a child-free area around the stove. That's where the accidents happen. If you're cooking, make sure you're in the kitchen. You always want to be in the kitchen when you're cooking on the stovetop. Unattended cooking is the #1 fire in the city of Charlottesville and nationally. So every year you should make sure that you check your extension cords and that they've been new. You don't want your extension cords to be over a couple of years old. You also want to make sure that they haven't been crushed by furniture or footsteps. If they have been damaged, you want to replace them. You can see if they're starting to heat up, put your hand on them and see if they're feeling warm. If they're warm, that's a fire hazard and you want to replace all of those extension cords. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I want everyone to have a happy and safe new year and remember to be fire safe.
Hello, my name is Jill Greiner, and I am the City of Charlottesville's Water Efficiency Program Coordinator. I'm excited to announce the winners for our 10th annual Imagine a Day Without Water Art Contest. This year's contest was hosted again by the City of Charlottesville, Albemarle County Service Authority, and Ravenna Water and Sewer Authority. I am so excited to share our campaign and contest results with you. Our art contest is part of the National Imagine a Day Without Water campaign, which brings attention to the value of water. Water is an essential resource and it's important for us to only use what we need. Our youth are great at showing us the value of water through their eyes. The art contest was open to youth in kindergarten through 12th grade living in the city and Albemarle County. We asked the youth to consider this year's theme, what's your drop in the bucket, in their creation. This year we received 229 entries from all over the city and county, and it was such a great to see such wonderful participation from our youth. From those entries, the organizers selected the top 75 entries and made them available online for voting for the fan favorite, which brought in over 1,100 total votes. The judges also selected the winners in 6 different age categories listed here. It was a hard task as all the entries had such great and inspiring actions to save water. All award winners will receive a water conservation goodie bag and a $200 gift card. So let's announce our winners. Our first winner is from the kindergarten through 2nd grade category, and it is Andre Salerno. This 2nd grader from Mountain View Elementary School focuses on saving water for all creatures, like this hammerhead shark. Our next winner is in the 3rd grade through 4th grade category and is Nina Dustin, a 4th grader from Mountaintop Montessori School. Her entry artistically represents a drop of water being made of various materials, and we appreciate the creativity in Nina's creation. Our 5th grade through 6th grade winner is Paulina Salerno, a 6th grader from Burnley Middle School. Her entry reminds us all ways to save water by fixing leaks and taking shorter showers. Nadia Salazar Ferrer, an 8th grader from Buford Middle School, is our 7th through 8th grade winner. She has a beautiful entry showing how even just a little water can be used for so many important things. Our 9th through 12th grade winner is Gail Harrison, an 11th grader from Monticello High School, and she has a powerful drawing of a person with their bucket and water drops showcasing how important each drop is for the world. This year, we added a new category, Best Photography. This year's winner is to Ezra Bear, a 1st grader from Johnson Elementary. Congratulations, Ezra, for being our first winner in this category. And our last youth winner is our fan favorite. Receiving over 250 votes is Myra Gutam, a 5th grader from Baker Butler Elementary School. Here you can show various ways to save water for the planet. Congratulations, Myra, for winning the fan favorite. And next, we want to recognize a few teachers that encourage their students to participate in our art contest. We selected the teachers that had the most students submissions and a randomly selected teacher from a Charlottesville City School, an Armagh County Public School, and a private school or organization. They will each receive a water conservation goodie bag and a $200 gift card to help with school supplies. Our first teacher we would like to recognize is Ophelia Wild, a teacher from Mountaintop Montessori School who had the most entries from her students with 63 art entries. From the county, we would like to recognize Jeanette Stott, a teacher from Monticello High School, and she had 59 of her students submit artwork. Next, we will have Kimberly Taylor from the Village School, where she had 21 of her students submit artwork. And lastly, we have Lynn Herman from Greenbrier Elementary School, who had 15 students submit artwork to our contest. Thank you to all the teachers that supported our art contest and hopefully had an engaging discussion around how and why to save water with their students. Hopefully, you were inspired by these youth's drops in the buckets to save water, that you will commit to your own water-saving action. Here are a few reminders of easy ways you can save. One tip is to only use the water you need, which means turning the water off while you brush your teeth or soap your hands. Water leaks can waste thousands of gallons of water, so it is important to always report and fix leaks immediately. Saving water outside is also important, especially when it comes to watering grass and plants when the sun is low and not after it rains. Installing WaterSense label fixtures is an easy way to save money and water, as they are certified to use less water and perform just as well as a standard fixture. As a reminder, the City and ACSA offer free water conservation kits to utility customers, which includes low-flow shower heads and faucet aerators. Lastly, the City and ACSA have some great water-saving rebates to check out, including a WaterSense toilet rebate and a rain barrel rebate. By doing even just a few of these water-saving actions, you can help make sure every drop counts in our community. And with that, we wanted to thank everyone involved that participated in our art contest, including the host organizations, youth, teachers, and parents. We hope you consider the value of water and commit to an action to save water to add another drop in the bucket. Be sure to follow us on social media for tips and resources on how to save water. Thank you very much.
I'm Phil Spence. I'm the risk manager for the City of Charlottesville. The thing I love most of working for the city is the people. We have a great group here across the organization that really just want to do good work for the folks of Charlottesville. We have internal and external customers, which may not be unlike a lot of divisions in the city, but one thing we do is claims management for external customers and internal, whether a citizen might have a claim, whether it's a car accident or maybe property damage of some sort, or internal claims of the same kind with different departments across the city. Both have to come through risk management to have those handled. Best way to get in touch with me, a couple of different ways. Our phone number is 434-970-3862, and the general risk inbox for email is riskmgmt@charlottesville.gov. thing I love about Charlottesville as a community is very collaborative. We have events all over the city that bring all sorts of folks together, whether it's Fridays at 5 or Tom Tom Festival. Folks find ways to get together and do things together, and I really enjoyed that about Charlottesville. Fun fact about myself would be that I front a rock and roll band out of Lake Monticello.
What's the name of the band?
The name of the band is Back 40 East.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Inside Charlottesville. I'm your host, Afton Schneider. See you next month.